This is News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 4. We begin with breaking news. The Rock County Sheriff's Office says a fire left $2 million of damage to a building in the town of Fulton.
Just after 6 in the morning, fire crews responded to Wisconsin Highway 59 for a structure fire. They found a car inside a large metal building engulfed in flames. Multiple agencies responded to assist with extinguishing the fire, but the building is considered a total loss. No one was hurt, and the Sheriff's Office says its preliminary investigation indicates the car inside the building's ignition might have led to the fire. We'll continue to provide updates as the Sheriff's Office continues its investigation into the fire. For all breaking news updates and stories like this, download the free Channel 3000 mobile app.
The latest poll from Marquette Law School shows registered voters in Wisconsin favor Democratic candidates. In the presidential race, Vice President Kamala Harris leads former President Donald Trump 52-48. The numbers remain the same among likely voters. When we expand the race to multiple candidates, Harris leads Trump 47-43. And in the race for U.S. Senate incumbent Senator Tammy Baldwin leads Republican Eric Hovde 52-48 among registered voters. She leads 52-47 among likely voters. The margin of error for likely voters is 4.7%. It's 4.6% for registered voters.
Marquette Law School conducted the poll between August 28th and September 5th. We still don't know whether last night's debate will impact those numbers. Right now, it's unclear whether Harris and Trump will debate again. Harris said that she'd agreed to a second debate, but Trump is not committing and suggested on Fox News this morning he's unsure if he wants to.
Let's get a look at your first warn forecast. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington is out on the patio. You're seeing some hazy skies out there.
I sure am, Brady. And if southern Wisconsin, if you just take a peek outside your window here, I can do it out on the patio. When you look over towards the western and southwestern horizon, you see that pearly white or that milky white look to the sky, which we've seen for a few days now. Our live Queen Bee radio sky cam in Platteville is showing this brilliantly. This is that smoke that's high up in the atmosphere, way up high up in the atmosphere. And where you see all the orange, which is across all of southern Wisconsin, that's that smoke that's being blown all the way from the Rocky Mountains in Canada to the east across the plains and into Wisconsin. And that's what's causing that milky white sky. But that milky white sky is not causing the temperatures to be any cooler. We've got 84 degrees, and that's really popular, 84 to 86 across all of southern Wisconsin. A lot of 84s in Dane County, so it's a warm day. These are temperatures that you would normally see in July and August. Let's plan the rest of our evening. Temperatures going down into the 70s. By the time we get to midnight, we'll be at 66. Going for a low tonight of right around 58 degrees. It's dry out, so we're not expecting fog to start off Thursday morning. Coming up, though, in Maine weather, we're going to track the warmest day of the week and the leftovers, the remnants of Francine, and how much water that may bring to southern Wisconsin in a few minutes.
Alex, thank you. Following last night's historic debate in Philadelphia, voters are reacting.
Tanisha Shaw spoke with people after the big night, and she joins us in the studio right now. Tanisha?
Yeah, I spent the day in downtown Madison, and I got the chance to ask voters what they learned after last night's debate.
I learned a lot about both parties' policies.
I learned more just about what she wants to do for the economy and stuff, and I didn't really learn much about Trump.
I didn't learn a lot new because we've been following it so much.
Despite the debate that lasted nearly 2 hours, some voters still aren't feeling confident about the race.
To be honest, not really this year. I'm still have pretty much questions because, under this economy, voting for either side would be not going to be the best option.
I don't feel confident voting right now. Absolutely not.
Others feel like last night gave them clarity.
Yes, I do feel confident when it comes to November 5th on who I'm going to vote for.
Yes, and I feel confident that Kamala's going to win.
And we're going to hear more from voters today. So tonight at 5, we're going to talk to voters about the biggest takeaways from last night's debates and if they're confident about November. Reporting in studio, News 3 Now, Tanisha Shaw.
Tanisha, thank you. Today marks the 23rd anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks that killed about 3,000 people. Putting politics aside, the president, vice president, former President Trump and his running mate all commemorated the tragedy in New York. Just hours after meeting face-to-face for the first time, former President Trump and Vice President Harris shook hands ahead of the ceremony.
We'll have more on the national ceremonies later, but for now, we're taking a look at how locals are honoring those who responded to the attacks.
Our Ellie LaLiberte shows us how some first responders are paying their respects.
First responders here in Madison gathered at the local 311 Memorial in front of Fire Station 14 this morning. The ceremony was to reflect and remember one of the most tragic events in American history, and it touched close to home for some.
A moment of silence, a ringing of the bell, raising of the flag, and a display of respect for lives lost 23 years ago.
We never forget where we were, right?
9/11, a date ingrained in American history.
I was actually coming back from a fire on the east side.
I was at the University of Wisconsin. I was sleeping in at the Regent apartments at that time, and I received phone calls from friends on my cell phone and my dorm room phone to wake me up.
Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett and his journey to law enforcement is partially because of 9/11.
Well, my father was in law enforcement, and his sister, Renee Barrett Arjun, died on 9/11.
Barrett's aunt was on the 101st floor during the attacks and was carried out of the building by first responders.
Those days that we had with her before she passed away were imperative to us being able to have our closure and say our goodbyes to our loving aunt.
Now, he says, it's an honor to help people here in Dane County.
It's about selfless service and us putting others before oneself.
For Mulholland Mitchell, president of Firefighters Local 311, a firefighting union, it's a reminder of the work they do.
Those firefighters that gave the ultimate sacrifice. It's about respecting them, their work, but also as a firefighter, again, it's a reset for us.
We never forget our fallen. We never forget their sacrifice, and we will always honor them and their families no matter what.
Speakers from the event also say ceremonies like this one are important to do every year to continue to remind younger generations of the sacrifice.
Thank you, Ellie. Sheriff Barrett also used his speech during the ceremony to encourage others interested in law enforcement to join.
Still ahead for us this afternoon. If you have questions or concerns about your plants or garden, now's the time to send us your questions via email to tips@channel3000.com. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company joins us later in the broadcast with the answers. Again, that's tips@channel3000.com.
Send them on in, everyone. Well, coming up, why election officials across the country are angry with the U.S. Postal Service. We're back right after this.
At Affordable Dentures and Implants, we want you to go ahead and smile. Right now, new denture wearers get a free upgrade to our premium denture for the price of an economy. Call today. Offer ends October 7th.
Go ahead and smile.
Kamala Harris cast the tie-breaking vote that created America's inflation.
The vice president votes in the affirmative, and the bill is passed.
Economists said Harris's vote led directly to the higher prices we pay. 22% more for groceries, 50% more for gas. Mortgage costs nearly double. Thanks a lot, Kamala. Trump had our economy humming. He'll do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Baraboo Furniture and Mattress is celebrating Labor Day with our huge store-wide Labor Day sale. Our beautiful new showroom is packed with over an acre of quality furniture, including over 50 recliners on sale, mattress sets on sale, over $1 million of quality name brands including Smith Brothers, Flexsteel, Best, England, Spring Air, Ashley, Amish Furniture, and much more at discounted prices. Free financing, all credit welcome. Hurry in today for the best selection at the huge store-wide Labor Day sale at Baraboo Furniture and Mattress, Baraboo.
If you're about to replace your roof, stop. There's a solution about 80% less expensive. 9 out of 10 roofs can be saved by RoofMax. Guaranteed to extend the life of your current roof by 5 to 15 years at a fraction of the cost of a new roof. RoofMax's deep penetrating power restores flexibility and water protection. Nobody wants to replace their roof. Restore it instead with RoofMax for 80% less. Call now for a free roof inspection.
Okay, guys, we're all here because US Cellular has an incredible deal. Right now, you can get 4 lines for just $90.
Sorry, just double checking. Is it really that good of a deal?
Yeah. It's a huge deal. You also get 4 free phones of your choice.
4 free phones! Wow, I just triple checked and that's awesome.
So go get that deal. Or at least help me clip. Did you check the expiration dates?
Oh, I can do that.
Great.
Get 4 free phones of your choice with no trade-in needed, plus 4 lines for $90.
I'm not old enough to vote yet.
But I learned how 1 out of 6 of us will someday be raped.
So please, think about me when you vote.
I learned how our freedom to have an abortion was taken away.
Even in cases of rape or incest. Even to travel to get an abortion.
You know who got rid of Roe v. Wade.
When you vote, please think about me.
Because the politician who got rid of Roe v. Wade, he couldn't care less.
Right now at Affordable Dentures and Implants, new denture wearers get a free upgrade to our premium denture. That's an average savings of $700. Call 1-800-DENTURE today. Offer ends October 7th.
Go ahead and smile.
You're taking a live look at the nation's capital.
Lawmakers were supposed to vote on a continuing resolution to fund the government today, but GOP House Speaker Mike Johnson pulled the vote after multiple members of his party signaled they wouldn't back him.
Congress needs to pass a stopgap spending bill before October 1st in order to avert a partial government shutdown. The speaker says he believes he and his party will be able to come to an agreement on funding before then.
State and local election officials say problems with the U.S. mail could disrupt voting in the election. Two groups representing top election administrators in all 50 states sent a letter to the head of the USPS. In it, they demand the USPS address persistent issues. They say over the past year, local election offices received mailed ballots days after the deadline to be counted. The letter comes with less than 2 weeks after the head of the USPS said the Postal Service was ready to handle a flood of mail ballots for November's election. The USPS has not commented on the letter.
Price hikes have slowed down to their lowest rate since February of 2021. The Consumer Price Index, or CPI, measures price changes for commonly purchased goods and services. In August, it dropped to 2.5%. That's down from 2.9% in July. Economists credit the slowdown to falling gas prices. Meanwhile, grocery prices remained steady in August. Prices remained unchanged from July's increase of 0.2%. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says the leading driver of inflation continues to be the cost of owning and renting a home. The FDA says it will investigate the potential harm heavy metals in tampons pose to women, rather. A study earlier this year found metals like lead and arsenic are present in both organic and non-organic tampons. The levels are low, but the Environmental Protection Agency says there's no such thing as a safe amount of lead exposure. The FDA study will mimic normal use of tampons to see how much, if any, metals are released into the human body during their use.
A study from the Endocrine Society shows that more young women are experiencing early puberty. The study says the trend toward early puberty in girls is, quote, alarming, and that chemical exposure could be a contributing factor. Early puberty is linked to an increased risk of psychological problems, obesity, diabetes, breast cancer, and more. Among the harmful chemicals, musk ambroiette is restricted in Canada and Europe, but not in the U.S. You should keep an eye out for the chemical in things like detergents, perfumes, and personal care products.
Women with asthma are more likely to experience miscarriages and need fertility treatment. A study from the European Respiratory Society found women with asthma had a 1.3% higher chance of a miscarriage. The reason for the connection isn't quite clear. To eliminate that risk, the study says women with asthma should treat it with medication.
For the first time, the CDC is recommending doctors talk to women about pain management for the intrauterine devices, or IUDs. For years, women have described painful experiences during insertion and removal of the birth control device. The CDC now says doctors should tell their parents about pain management and not just suggest over-the-counter pain relievers. Instead, doctors should talk to patients about lidocaine and anesthetic available that reduces pain. On CBS Mornings, Dr. Celine Gounder also talked about a new device that could make the procedure more bearable.
This is the old device, what's called a tenaculum. So it has these little hooks, sharp hooks on the end. This was used during the Civil War to remove bullets and to pull tissue during an amputation. The new device is already in use at Columbia University, Indiana University, and then a series of clinics, women's health clinics called TIA, are partnering with the company that makes this to train their providers.
Under federal guidelines, private health plans cannot impose cost-sharing requirements like a co-payment or deductive on patients for any services related to contraception.
Right now, people along the Gulf Coast are preparing for Hurricane Francine's potential landfall. It was just updated to a Category 2 hurricane. Francine strengthened significantly this past week. In the record warm Gulf of Mexico, storm surge watches and warnings are in place along the coast from northeastern Texas to the Mississippi-Alabama line. There are also several locations with evacuation orders. Forecasters say some places in southeast Louisiana could see serious flooding. So Alex, how is the storm looking now, and will we see any type of ripple effect up in our area?
Yeah, Brady, we can most certainly answer those questions. Right now, here's Hurricane Francine, just south and west of New Orleans by a few hundred miles. It's going to quickly move inland, and the worst feature of a hurricane, a lot of folks focus on the winds. Winds right now 100 gusting to 120, and that's certainly an important factor of a hurricane are destructive winds, but it's the water. It's the surge that comes on shore. It's the heavy rainfall that can last for hours or even days, depending on the speed of the system. Hurricane Francine then will be making a trip to the north, and we're already going to see the impacts of Francine by the time we get to Friday morning. Winds out of the east around that circulation. Remember, hurricanes are spinning features, and we'll have winds out of the east out ahead of it. The clouds will be coming towards the north, but will we get any rain from Francine? The air is very dry out there right now. By the time we get to Saturday morning, maybe a lone shower popping up over southwestern Wisconsin. Fast forwarding here as we go a little bit further into Saturday, 6 o'clock, isolated showers, many places staying dry there. You see a couple showers sneaking across southern Wisconsin during the wee hours of Sunday morning to about 6 o'clock on Sunday morning. The clouds stick around the area. And as we move towards Monday morning, the clouds start to fizzle out a little bit. They thin out as those shower chances from the remains of Francine then start to scoot off towards the east. So the mode this weekend, not a lot of water from the leftovers of Francine as Francine battles that dry air over the upper Midwest. Lucky to get a tenth, maybe a quarter of an inch of water from the leftovers or the remnants of Francine. Well, let's talk about tonight as well, too. 6 o'clock, temperatures near 80. I'll probably get my walk in. We'll have Blaze here for our later shows at 10 o'clock tonight with temperatures right around 70 degrees. Right now, it's 84 across Dane County. I got to look around here. We got an 85 in Deerfield, 85 on the other side of the Wisconsin River in Sauk City, and 83 in southwestern portion of Dane County. 84 to 86 across all of southern Wisconsin. No, this isn't a rebroadcast of the weather back from July. This is September and a very warm September day indeed. Let's track our temperatures tonight. 6 o'clock. Again, near 80 degrees. We go down into the 60s to near 70 by midnight, and then we end up Thursday morning. Temperatures in the 50s to mid-50s. A little bit cooler over the Wisconsin River Valley. Madison at 58. One more really warm day on Thursday. Highs in the middle to upper 80s. Some places could approach 90 degrees and a couple isolated spots. And we move into the weekend. That's when the clouds increase. These are the remnants here of Francine, possibly bringing us a couple of showers Saturday going on into Sunday. But those temperatures really are going to stay warm even the further out we go into the 10-day forecast. Highs in the 80s, lows in the 60s. That's what you would see in July and in August. But we're getting that in September. So it's midsummer-like weather in September. The best chance for rain really over the next 10 days is with a cold front that will move into the area by the time we get to Friday going on into Saturday of next week. Now, we were talking about the smoke that's high up in the atmosphere. Time for a little bit of viewer photos and a little bit of weather knowledge here. When you have that smoke in the atmosphere and the sun shines through it, what we see are those vivid reds and orange colors. Thanks, CJ from Beaver Dam, sending us this photo. Look at the upper right here. As you get your phone out, scan that QR code. That's what Kim did. Kim sent us this photo from Jefferson with that really vivid orange sunrise owing to the smoke that we have in the upper atmosphere, high up in the sky. And there's that yellowish orange tint here that James is sending us from Muir Lake north up towards the Dells. Again, all you got to do is just scan that QR code, and then we can show the pretty pictures across southern Wisconsin, all owing to the smoke high up in the sky. What about that?
How about that indeed?
Yeah, I know we don't want smoke in the air, but those pictures are pretty pretty.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky we have viewers share those with us, so thank you.
Yes, thank you. Today you can honor the first responders who lost their lives in 9/11 by simply rolling up your sleeve.
Next in the 608, we're taking you to the 13th Never Forget Blood Drive and showing you how you can make a difference.
Get up to 60% off list prices on hundreds of items at the huge Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture.
Get this power recliner for a steal, or a super padded, family-friendly reclining sectional.
Up to 60% off at the huge Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture.
Vinyl windows, a 1970s relic, aren't built for extreme weather. At Next Door & Window, we have the answer. Fiberglass. Our Ultrex fiberglass windows last longer than any other window you could buy. Visit nextwindow.com to learn more.
We all know costs are too high, but while corporations are gouging families, Trump is focused on giving them tax cuts. But Kamala Harris is focused on you.
Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
She'll make groceries more affordable by cracking down on price gouging. And she'll cut housing costs by taking on corporate speculators. Middle-class families build America. We need a leader who has their back.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
We're cranking up the voltage, Wisconsin. Lottery retailers all around the state are lighting up with the latest limited time offer. It's Badger 5, 5 will get you 6. During the month of September, players who buy a $5 or greater Badger 5 ticket will receive a bonus ticket for the next drawing of Badger 5. This electric offer is only available for a limited time and only at Wisconsin lottery retailers.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need. Because they're a part of them. Because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
China Lights is back this fall at Berner Botanical Gardens in Milwaukee. The Year of the Dragon has over 40 lanterns, an event for the whole family. Come see what thousands of visitors have raved about. China Lights opens this Friday and runs through October 27th. Buy your tickets now. The experience is breathtaking.
When it comes to winning internet, TDS is in a league of our own. Just like the Green Bay Packers, Wisconsin born and bred, we live, work, play, hire, and get involved in the communities we serve. Like delivering the green and gold standard of internet. 100% fiber internet that's as fast, powerful, and reliable as your other hometown favorite, the Packers. TDS, internet that's built Wisconsin strong.
Labor Day exclusive. See the brand new Nectar Premier Hybrid first at Slumberland with a cooling cover and gel memory foam for pressure relief, only $10.99. Or shop America's favorite brands. Hurry and soon at Slumberland.
Well, in our partnership with SSM Health Time for Kids, we explore healthy ways parents can take away their children's devices without negatively impacting their mental health.
Yep, that's right. Our Jalen Banks joins us now in the studio with more.
Meryl, Brady, many parents and caretakers can relate to this. You take your child's phone or device away and you get a negative reaction. Some even go as far as wanting to harm themselves. And speaking with a behavioral health specialist, they share with me the new trend of cell phone suicidality can be attributed to how integral devices have become in young people's lives. Phones and other mobile devices are more than just simple sources of communication, but serve as entertainment, information, and social connectedness.
If nothing else, parents, adults, we have to accept the fact that we will never understand what it is like to be a kid in this era and what your phone means to you if you're a child in this era. It is way more important and central to their well-being and identity than we can give credit for.
And Dr. Chapman recommends when taking away devices to set clear timelines and expectations for children when it comes to getting their device back. He says it builds trust between the caretaker and child while giving the child a healthy goal to work towards. Tonight at 5, I will have more on healthy practices and more ways us as adults can relate to the topic.
Jalen, thank you. Well, this year's winner of Wisconsin's annual Best Tasting Tap Water Competition is Appleton. There you go. Participants in this year's contest critically evaluate samples exclusively from Wisconsin water utilities that meet or surpass the federal and state water quality standards. But what exactly are members of the panel looking for when choosing which water wins?
I would say the most important thing is your source water. Having a great source water gives you a great foundation to build upon. And then we employ a variety of technologies throughout the different municipalities in the state to help remove any particulates that might be in that water that could affect taste, odor, color, to provide a really high quality, clean, fresh, safe water for our customers.
Appleton will advance to the national competition for tap water. Congratulations, by the way. That's next summer in Denver.
UW-Madison will have a new engineering building for its students. Today, UW leaders announced a $75 million gift from alumni Marvin and Jeffrey Levy in honor of their late brother, Phil. It's the largest donation in the engineering school's history. The facility will be called the Philip A. Levy Engineering Center, and it will become a new centerpiece for the College of Engineering's campus. While making the announcement, the dean of the school spoke about why this building and engineering itself are important.
If you have driven your car, ridden your bike, if you've been out for a walk, you've experienced engineering. In short, engineering touches almost everything. Our engineering faculty, staff and students are key drivers of economic and social progress.
UW says the center will allow the College of Engineering to expand its enrollment.
Today, the Madison Fire and Police Departments hosted the 13th annual Never Forget Blood Drive. This was in partnership with the Red Cross. We were at Garver Feed Mill as the community showed its support by donating blood to address the ongoing need for blood products. The Madison Fire and Police Departments began hosting the drives in 2012. Throughout the years, the blood drive has been successful due to the efforts of dedicated blood donors. Many of them are Madison firefighters and police officers.
Police and fire are out in the community every day responding to emergencies, responding to life-threatening situations, and we tell our donors that it doesn't take a uniform to be a hero. Anyone can roll up their sleeve and donate blood, and one blood donation impacts up to 3 lives, and so we really want to encourage everyone to be everyday heroes and join us by donating blood.
Since that first drive, which was held 13 years ago, more than 1,000 life-saving donations have been collected.
And a reminder, we're once again asking you to help us get winter coats for local kids. We're partnering with the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County, Clinky Cleaners, and Magic 98 for the 39th annual Coats for Kids drive. From now through Saturday, October 5th, you can drop off new or gently used winter coats at any area Clinky Cleaners. For more information, head to this story on channel3000.com. We'll be back shortly.
This ad is a complete lie. The truth is, Tammy Baldwin's never shared inside information with her partner. And Tammy Baldwin's leading the fight to ban senators from purchasing any individual stocks. It's Eric Hovde, who owns a $3 billion California bank. And Hovde's bank takes millions from unknown foreign interests, meaning we'd have no idea who Eric Hovde would really be working for. Eric Hovde, what's wrong with this guy?
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Are you suffering with neck pain, back pain, or sciatica due to disc-related conditions? You may have tried drugs, spinal injections, or physical therapy just to find out it didn't help. You're not alone. The problem is that some of those treatments focus on symptom relief, but may not address the underlying disc problem. As a result of injury or overuse, the discs may bulge, herniate, or degenerate over time. Our therapies are highly successful and reduce pain associated with those conditions and may help you avoid neck or back surgery. At Midwest Spine and Nerve Center, we'll design a treatment program using the latest in pain-relieving therapies, including non-surgical spine decompression, ProAdjuster 360 computerized technology, laser therapy, and more. Visit our website or call to schedule a complimentary consultation.
Save big money on Pittsburgh paints and stains at Menards. Pittsburgh's Weather Screen is a water-repellent deck stain that protects wood while allowing its natural beauty to show through. A gallon starts at $27.98 after rebate. Complete your staining project with ultra-advanced semi-transparent stain. It's a stain and sealant in one that can be applied to damp wood, allowing you to clean and stain your project in one day. A gallon starts at $34.48 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
What does an opportunity economy look like? Tax cuts for working families. Billionaires and big corporations pay their fair share. It increases stability and security, gives people a true opportunity to get ahead. It's a very different vision than Donald Trump's. His plans will raise costs and taxes on the vast majority of Americans. We need to be thinking about the future and how we make it better for families like yours. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
I find I just want to be outside more and more on days like this.
Yeah, it's just beautiful out. Our weather words of the day are feeling more like midsummer. Oh my gosh. Alex, would you tell us more about that?
It feels like the 80s. It is in the 80s, I shouldn't say. Well, it does. It feels like the 80s as well. It's not a very humid 80 degrees, so the actual temperature and the feels-like factor, they're about the same. And it's a beautiful day overall for September. We could be really chilly and rainy this time of year. We can also be really, really hot and humid this time of year. So we just got the warmth, but no humidity. The warmest day of the week, though, coming on Thursday. That's going to be before the leftovers of Francine moving into the upper Midwest, with a few showers possible and a better chance of rain in the 10-day forecast. We'll show that coming up in Maine weather. Actually, Maine weather, I want to show a couple of event forecasts that we have coming up across southern Wisconsin this weekend, and will they be impacted by those shower chances? Temperatures over the last 24 hours, we were up near 80 degrees right around this time yesterday. We got down into the lower 60s, and now here we are back up into the oranges, up at 84 in Madison. Planning the rest of your evening tonight, we'll slowly work our way out of the 80s, back down into the 70s by 8 o'clock tonight. It's a dry warmth. It's not a muggy warmth out there. Temperatures in the 60s by midnight, and Blaze will be here for the 10 o'clock show as well. Overnight temperatures tonight, upper 50s, right around 60 degrees. But I mentioned that Thursday is going to be the warmest day out of the next 10 days at 86. We're going to stay in the lower to middle 80s all the way out into next week. Coming up in the 10-day forecast, we'll talk about what day is the best chance for rain out of the next 10. And then also, as I mentioned, we have some events this weekend, and I want to do some event forecasting. That's coming up in a few minutes.
Alex, thank you. The Madison Fire Department is investigating 3 separate fires, all taking place in downtown this morning.
One of them left 6 UW students without a home. News 3 Now's Kyle Pazorski is downtown with what we know about the fires so far. Kyle?
Good evening, guys. Madison Fire is not saying all 3 fires are indeed connected, instead beginning an investigation into all of them because they each took place within the same hour and within close proximity to each other. The first of the 3 fires, first 2 rather of the 3 fires involved garbage dumpsters, leaving no damage this morning. Now, as for the one that we are at, it is believed to have started outside before entering the building. It was this morning when News 3 Now spoke with a neighbor here, saying the sound of screams woke him up all before he looked out his window to find flames.
So I immediately knew there was a fire, and so I grabbed my dog Sadie, didn't put any clothes on, grabbed the rest of the neighbors and made it outside as fast as I could.
The damage is estimated to cost about $500,000, and the American Red Cross, for their part, is helping the impacted students while they are displaced. And again, to be clear, we still don't know if all 3 fires are indeed connected, but authorities want to consider the possibility that they all are, again, due to the time and distance from each other. In downtown, Kyle Pazorski, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Kyle. Well, the markets stormed back today, reversing an early sell-off. Today, reaction to the consumer price index numbers with a 125 jump for the Dow. The Nasdaq up 370 points. The S&P gains 59.
The topics of crime, incarceration, and the justice system have been dominating the national stage, and some of our local headlines as well.
Our Maddie Heimsch is bringing us the facts when it comes to crime and prison data here in Wisconsin. Maddie.
Yeah, so you may have seen headlines like these recently, and they're not wrong, but if you take them at face value, experts warn that you might not be seeing the full picture. When it comes to crime reporting, UW-Madison criminal justice expert Kenneth Streit says the relationship between crime rates and prison overcrowding isn't linear. One key difference, he says, is separating facility capacity from operational capacity. He says to take Oshkosh Correctional Institution as an example.
So like Oshkosh, people would say its design capacity is 1,400, its operational capacity is 2,200 because we have enough programs for them and we have enough guards to safely manage their movement and their interaction.
Right now, Wisconsin is facing an extreme shortage in prison guards. So if an institution sees a loss of employees, it can, quote, hit capacity without adding a single inmate. Strite also says the word crime is vague, and most crimes don't result in prison sentences, making the correlation between offenses and prison stays even less consistent. We'll have further data on News 3 Now at 6.
Maddie, thank you. Today marks 23 years since the 9/11 terrorist attacks killed nearly 3,000 people. President Biden and Vice President Harris visited Shanksville after attending the New York ceremony. Former President Donald Trump also made his way to Shanksville, but did not cross paths with Biden or the VP. The three laid wreaths at the memorial for the people on Flight 93, which crashed after passengers fought back against the hijackers.
Today's date is an important moment in American history, and around the country, communities are honoring those who responded and those who died.
Our Ellie La Liberté shows how some first responders are paying their respects right here in Madison.
Firefighters, police officers, and Madison city officials gathered to honor the bravery of first responders 23 years ago. Firefighters Local 311, a firefighting union, hosted a memorial ceremony in front of Station 14. The ceremony had several speakers and included a presentation of the colors and ringing of the bell. For those in attendance, it was a chance to reflect and honor those who died helping others.
We never forget our fallen. We never forget their sacrifice, and we will always honor them and their families no matter what.
For most firefighters that gave the ultimate sacrifice, it's about respecting them, their work, but also as a firefighter, again, it's a reset for us.
Speakers from the event also say ceremonies like this one are important to do every year to continue to remind younger generations of the sacrifice.
Thank you, Ellie. Well, coming up, economy and inflation. These are two big issues affecting small businesses.
Next, we're talking with the two candidates running for Dane County Executive about their plans to tackle these issues.
I was a Kamala Harris supporter. That changed after an illegal alien murdered my son, running him over, then driving back and forth over Drew's body 3 times. The man who killed my son had been arrested previously, but Kamala Harris let him go. As San Francisco's DA, Kamala was soft on crime. As a senator, she supported releasing criminal aliens back into our neighborhoods. Kamala Harris is dangerous.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Hi, we're the Woodmans. I'm Clint. I'm Phil, saving you big time money on organic apples. 3-pound bags of Little Snappers. All varieties, 2 for $6.50 or $3.39 each. Hot prices on organic apples. Bags of Little Snappers apples. All varieties, 2 for $6.50 or $3.39 each. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Better products, better prices, better service because we're employee owned.
A lot of law firms claim to be experts at handling injury cases that involve large trucks. But handling one trucking case does not make you an expert on the subject. Experience matters in these cases. One local firm has handled 25 trucking cases which resulted in payments over $1 million each, and hundreds of others as well. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
Fall is just around the corner. Let the experts at Feldco get your home ready for the cooler temps ahead. Right now, buy one window, get one free. Plus, no interest for 3 years. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
After careful review of medical guidance and research on pain relief, my recommendation is simple. Every home should have Salon Paws. Powerful, yet non-addictive. Targeted and long-lasting. I recommend Salon Paws. It's good medicine.
He sent me to... Kamala Harris cast the tie-breaking vote that created America's inflation.
The vice president votes in the affirmative, and the bill is passed.
Economists said Harris's vote led directly to the higher prices we pay. 22% more for groceries, 50% more for gas. Mortgage costs nearly double. Thanks a lot, Kamala. Trump had our economy humming. He'll do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
New at 5, September is Suicide Prevention Month, and the numbers on youth suicide are shocking. Could taking away kids' phones actually be making things worse? We're diving into the data.
The next 10 days are going to be very warm, with tomorrow, Thursday, being the warmest. But coming up at 5, we're going to track water chances and how much rain you can expect this week.
And ahead at 6, overcrowded Wisconsin prisons might make you think crime is on the rise, but the numbers tell a different story. We'll break down what's really happening tonight at 6.
We are back and continuing our 3 for the People coverage this week. We are focusing on the economy and inflation and how that impacts small businesses.
News 3 Now's Kyrian Lee spoke with the 2 candidates running for Dane County Executive about their small business outlook and plans to help small business owners if elected.
In November, State Senator Melissa Agard and Executive Director of the RCC Sexual Violence Resource Center, Dana Pelabon, will go head-to-head for the Dane County Executive. Both Agard and Pelabon know too well the struggle small business owners are facing because they have been in their shoes before. Until its closure in 2018, Pelabon co-owned The Frequency, a music venue in downtown Madison, for about 6 years. She says it's now occupied by Gamma Ray Bar, another small business. Starting next month through the election, Pelabon says she will be visiting with multiple small business owners, including farmers throughout the county, to hear their voices. She says one of the main concerns small businesses are facing is funding, and she says she wants to address it by investing more funds and getting small business owners informed about what's available to them.
I speak a lot to folks who are still looking for money for capital investments and capital improvements and buying buildings. And we do have programs here at the county that can help. We have 2 business loans that are available for folks who are looking to expand their businesses, expand their employees outside of the city of Madison. So these are rural-based programs that are really important.
Pelabon says it's important that the community invest locally to help bolster the local economy. Meanwhile, many years ago, Melissa Agard helped her father run a camera store in downtown Madison. She says it was hard work balancing it all. Agard says one of the problems small business owners have is trying to expand their business once getting started.
So there's a lot of people that want to become business owners. They're entrepreneurs and innovators, and making that leap from being one to more than one in a business it's difficult. And it's even more difficult for people of color and for women. And we need to make sure that we have mentorship, because every small business owner isn't starting all out on their own. And there are a lot of people that want to be able to give their gifts to other people. So certainly being able to have strong mentorship, removing barriers.
She too says it will take the community investing into local businesses so that business owners stay rooted in this community. Back to you.
Thank you, Kyrian. Ahead on Live at 4, there's still time to send in your plant questions. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is answering all of your plant and garden questions. There she is. Email those questions to tips@channel3000.com.
We'll get the answers next.
Join Stoughton Health's Dr. Aaron Schwab on September 26th to learn about simple outpatient treatments that can alleviate varicose or spider veins. To register for the free educational talk, visit stoughtonhealth.com and click on Classes and Events.
We know Wisconsin workers can get the job done.
But China has been taking our jobs.
For years, our government built America's infrastructure with Chinese iron and steel. I said that's got to change.
Tammy Baldwin wrote the law to make sure American projects are made with American iron and steel. Now we're getting more work in Wisconsin with Wisconsin workers.
Tammy Baldwin stood up to China and our government.
She got the job done.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
Tammy Baldwin's partner is Maria Brisbane, a Wall Street wealth advisor to the ultra-rich. They spend their time in New York and D.C. in their multi-million-dollar homes. But Baldwin fails to report their jointly owned assets or Maria's clients, who get rich off industries that Tammy regulates. That's a conflict of interest raising serious ethical questions. Two-faced Tammy Baldwin. She's not for us anymore. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
If your windows are leaky and drafty, it's possible they weren't installed properly. Many installers lack proper training, and shoddy installation leaves your home vulnerable to extreme weather. At Next Door & Window, we're reinventing window installation. Our approach ensures your windows are sealed tight and energy efficient. And your windows and doors will be installed by certified experts who treat your home as if it was their own. When you demand tomorrow's comfort, Next delivers. Visit nextwindow.com to learn more.
He told us who he was.
Should abortion be punished?
There has to be some form of punishment.
Then he showed us.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it, and I'm proud to have done it.
Now Donald Trump wants to go further with plans to restrict birth control, ban abortion nationwide, even monitor women's pregnancies. We know who Donald Trump is. He'll take control. We'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
No more waiting to see a general surgeon. Stoughton Health can see you within a week. We accept over 160 insurances, including Dean Health Plan and Quartz. Ask for Dr. Aaron Schwab, board-certified general surgeon. Learn more at stoughtonhealth.com.
Oh, we're taking a look at Santa Monica. Dang, that looks fun. I want to go on the Ferris wheel there. Oh my gosh.
I love being on the pier. I've only been there a couple of times, but it is such a cool experience. And who doesn't love the beach?
I mean, I miss it every day.
Yeah.
You know, being a San Diego native myself, I do miss it. Yeah. But Madison is lovely.
Yes.
We love Madison.
68 degrees there in Santa Monica, much warmer here, so good time to be here.
Yeah, I will take the summer heat. Yeah. I love it. Well, it's time to answer your plant questions.
Lisa Briggs with the Bruce Company is answering all of your plant and garden questions right now. You can still email them to tips@channel3000.com. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Oh, doing well.
Doing great.
How are you?
I'm good. It's warm here, but there's a little bit of breeze, so it's quite pleasant.
You're thriving. Well, let's dig in. So Carrie says, I have a false Aurelia. The leaves dry up and fall off regularly. What am I doing wrong?
So sometimes, you know, with houseplants, when you're seeing a problem that is sort of environmental, not like you're seeing spots or, you know, bug issues, it's usually a watering issue or a sunlight issue. So I would say to Terry, send pictures of your false Aurelia to plantdesk@brucecompany.com. We'll take a look at it, at the pictures, and then we'll diagnose what happened, what's going on, and then we can help you figure out how to fix it.
Awesome. And then after a little rain that we got in the few past days, one of the people said, my lilacs are re-blooming. Anything that we can explain there?
So when we had that cold snap, a lot of times what it does is lilacs are a plant that sets their flower buds for the following year right after they flower. And so those flower buds for next year have already formed, and we had that really chilly weather kind of fooled the lilacs into thinking that they had a chill period, and maybe it was getting, now that it's warm again, that maybe it's like a false spring. So they're going to do a little bit of flowering. Not all of the buds will flower. Flowering may or may not be affected next year. You might see fewer than usual, but it will not hurt the plant long term. It'll be fine.
Got it.
Well, Connie from Johnson Creek, she wants to know, we bought some Heavenly Blue Morning Glory plants earlier this summer. They're not coming up Heavenly Blue, though. They're coming up a darker blue, purple color. So she wants to know, is this because of the heat?
Maybe, but probably not. It could be that maybe it sounds like that darker blue is one called Grandpa Ott. It's a really old variety. Sometimes from seed growers, seed gets mixed in. So the only thing about Grandpa Ott, it's really pretty, but it is really prone to self-sowing. So she should make sure that she doesn't let the ones go to seed. Otherwise, next year she's going to have a whole bunch of Grandpa Ott seedlings, and it'll be hard for anything else to grow through that. So have her remove the flowers and cut those plants back at the end of the season, and don't let them hang out through the winter.
Gotcha, gotcha. And Andy and Florence say that our 2-year-old hibiscus leaves are light green instead of dark green, and they want to know if they should fertilize now or wait till next spring when they go outdoors again.
I would hold off on fertilizing now. If the leaves are yellowing and the ribs are green, so the veining is green, that is an iron problem, and he could treat it with fertilizer that's low in nitrogen but has some iron in it. Could use, there's several things on the market. You come into the garden center, we'll help him out. Otherwise, a lot of times when you bring a hibiscus inside, and I know a lot of people did that last week because the weather was getting really chilly, or predicted to be quite cold. Hibiscus resent being moved, and so if it was spent the summer outside and then you brought it in, I'm not surprised that some leaves are yellowing. He should just move it into the spot in his house where he has the most highest light. It'll probably drop some leaves and then it'll kick itself back in.
I also don't like moving, so that's very relatable.
Lisa,
there are some houseplants that really like being outside. They hate being moved, so
right. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Have a good day, Lisa. Let's get a check of our first warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Did you learn anything about plants today?
I certainly did. Hibiscus, I haven't had one of those in a while, but it's a very pretty plant. And the ones that I've had are good plants for hummingbirds, if I remember correctly. 3 things, though, with the weather that you need to get out of our forecast here. Warmest day, that's tomorrow. Showers by the time we get towards the upcoming weekend. Many places are going to stay dry, though, with the remnants of Francine trying to move into a very dry atmosphere. Better chances for rain. We'll see that later in the 10-day forecast. Current temperatures, you got 84 in Madison, 84 in Janesville, and 84 up in the Dells, 86 in the Wisconsin River Valley. A lot of 83s, 84s, a very warm but a dry warmth across southern Wisconsin. And we're going to stay warm here over the course of the next 10 days. These are the temps you would see in July and in August, but not a lot of humidity with those warm temperatures. Just small chances for a passing shower or two with the leftovers of Francine Saturday going into Sunday, going on into Monday. And we have some events to talk about this weekend. We got the Badger football game. Temperatures in the 70s to right around 80 degrees, so warm temperatures. Just that slight chance of a shower. So go Badgers on Saturday. Then coming up on Sunday, we had the Gemütlichkeit days. Hopefully I got my German there relatively correct. A little bit of German in my background. I will be emceeing the parade for G-Days on Sunday in Jefferson. Looking overall like a nice day. Temperatures in the 70s. Just that outside chance of a shower. The better chances for rain coming up as we head late next week. A strong cold front will likely be moving towards southern Wisconsin. That could bring some showers and some thunderstorms. A few of those storms could be on the stronger side as it looks like right now. And that transitions us to a cooler Saturday behind that cold front. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
I was a Kamala Harris supporter. That changed after an illegal alien murdered my son, running him over, then driving back and forth over Drew's body 3 times. The man who killed my son had been arrested previously, but Kamala Harris let him go. As San Francisco's DA, Kamala was soft on crime. As a senator, she supported releasing criminal aliens back into our neighborhoods. Kamala Harris is dangerous.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
When did I call Leaf Filter? When I saw my gutters overflowing onto my porch.
Leaf Filter is a permanent gutter solution, so you never have to worry about costly damage from clogged gutters again.
It's the easiest call you can make.
Call 833-LEAF-FILTER today or visit leaffilter.com.
We all know costs are too high, but while corporations are gouging families, Trump is focused on giving them tax cuts. But Kamala Harris is focused on you.
Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
She'll make groceries more affordable by cracking down on price gouging. And she'll cut housing costs by taking on corporate speculators. Middle-class families build America. We need a leader who has their back.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Due at 5 September is Suicide Prevention Month, and the numbers on youth suicide are shocking. Could taking away kids' phones be making things worse? We're diving into the data during our Time for Kids report. That's coming up next.
Moving forward in your community, lending helping hands, spotlighting the people, telling the stories, warning you first. Your local news source for nearly 70 years. News 3 Now. Moving forward.
All right, take a look at this. A low-speed collision caused major damage to planes at an Atlanta airport. 2 Delta passengers' planes collided, leaving one with a toppled tail section.
While taxiing for takeoff, the wingtip of one of the aircraft clipped the tail section of the other, severely damaging it. Thankfully, no one was injured, but passengers did have to be put on other flights. The FAA and NTSB are now looking into the incident. We'll be right back.
Save big at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Choose an Amish handcrafted sofa from our showroom or let our design experts customize a look for you during the Smith Brothers factory authorized sale.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture
at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Kamala Harris cast the tie-breaking vote that created America's inflation.
The vice president votes in the affirmative and the bill is passed.
Economists said Harris's vote led directly to the higher prices we pay. 22% more for groceries, 50% more for gas. Mortgage costs nearly double. Thanks a lot, Kamala. Trump had our economy humming. He'll do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Right now, we're running our 60-60-60 sale. So when you purchase your new concrete coating, you get a $60 Visa gift card plus either 60% off installation or 60-month no-interest financing. This is one of our best deals of the year, so visit our website or call the number for your new floor today.
Psoriatic arthritis symptoms can be unpredictable.
One day, your joints hurt.
Next sits on your skin.
I got Cosentix. Feels good to move.
Feel less joint pain, swelling and tenderness, back pain and clearer skin, and help stop further joint damage with Cosentix. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentix. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur. Some are fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur.
I feel better.
Check out these moves. Just bust the move.
Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentix.
We know Wisconsin workers can get the job done.
But China has been taking our jobs.
For years, our government built America's infrastructure with Chinese iron and steel. I said that's gotta change.
Tammy Baldwin wrote the law to make sure American projects are made with American iron and steel. Now we're getting more work in Wisconsin with Wisconsin workers.
Tammy Baldwin stood up to China and our government.
She got the job done.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
Save big at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Choose an Amish handcrafted sofa from our showroom or let our design experts customize a look for you during the Smith Brothers factory authorized sale.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture
at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
And that's a wrap for today's Live at 4. Brady is in the newsroom with what's coming up.
Tomorrow on Live at 4, presidential politics. Charles Franklin reviews results of his latest Marquette Law School poll. And next at 5 September is Suicide Prevention Month. And